Right, so there we go. So you're going to have to move...
Which one am I on? The top one?
You're the top one, so you're going to have to move the mic.
Testing the microphone. Testing the microphone.
You might have to have it a little bit closer.
Okay. What about here? Is this better? I'm going to be talking to you like this.
Right, what we got? What can we do?
Holy shit.
Right.
Is it too quiet? Is that too quiet? Testing the microphone. Testing. A little bit better.
Testing the microphone.
Yeah, well, you're shouting at it. I can shout at it too like that, you see. If I shout, then it works. Testing the microphone. Much better. That's a lot better. Testing, and I'm just talking normally, and now we're okay. I think we're fine with that.
We'll see how loud I am compared to it.
Quite loud, I would say. You are a little bit louder than I am, but that's a lot better now.
I think it is. I think if it's just general conversation, it should be all right.
Should be fine.
Mine will bow off a little bit, and then you might get excited during it. And
You might get excited a little bit and start shouting.
You'd be like, oh my words! I've never enjoyed myself so much until this very moment.
Exactly.
I wish I was more attractive like Douglas.
I was practicing that earlier. I think we're pretty much on the same sort of level there. Apart from when I start mumbling.
When you start, you got to...
It's very unnatural.
I don't know, won't the mic stand move closer to you?
If I crank it up, there you go, look. If I just crank it up, it's fine. Cranked it right up.
I suppose so. Crank it right up.
I've cranked it.
You've cranked it so hard.
I've been cranking it all morning.
He never stops cranking. That's one thing I know. He is a massive cranker.
I'm a cranker, yeah.
Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and today it's a WNR306. We have a look at AEW before we discuss, then play, and decide what the greatest wrestling game of all time is. And I'm delighted to introduce my special co-host today at UniMatrixGaming. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Delighted to be here. Thank you, James.
Yeah, all good, all good. So, before we start, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? What is UniMatrixGaming?
Well, UniMatrixGaming is basically, we're a group of friends. We love gaming. We love gaming together. So that's what we tried to capture on our YouTube channel. So we just make various videos, let's plays, informational videos sometimes. If we're just doing a video at the moment about games trailers for Gamescom. That'll be coming out soon. We love the group dynamic. So we have a video on the channel playing a game called Human Fall. Full collective together plays this crazy game. Is super funny to us. It might not be to you guys, but it's super funny to us. And yeah, we just got a great dynamic, and that's what we tried to capture. So yeah.
Oh no, that's cool, man. I mean, the thing is, so it's a group of people then. So why did you start, and who's involved in the group then? So
basically, it was started by Luke on the channel, Luke and Mark, basically. So on the channel we have Luke, Mark, Bex, Aaron, and myself. Right. At the moment. It could be more. Who knows? But yeah, no, that's it. Basically, it's we're just a group of friends and we love gaming. So
that's brilliant. Then. So what do you want to accomplish with it then? What is your goal for starting?
Well, so at the moment, the content on the channel is mainly Let's Plays, but that's not what we want to do with the channel. The reason it was started was to actually make cinematic videos with games,
right? Where
we would. For instance, a game called Ark Survival Evolved, we're working on a project called The Island, which we want to make a sort of a dramatic, serialised video series on that, where we will use the game and all the in-game props and the characters within the game to make a story, basically, a narrative-based story. So, yeah.
But you've been a huge gamer, I guess, for many years.
My whole life. I mean... Yeah, I mean, like most people, you get a console when you're a kid, don't you? So, I think the first console we ever got was, that I remember, was the Nintendo.
Right,
the NES, basically. And yeah, from there, we're here now. You know.
So it's been an evolution.
Exactly. So from the late 80s till now.
Right, so I should let people know anyway, because you're on the WNR podcast. Of course, not only is it great to have another group of people reaching out, but of course we've been friends for quite a while. But behind
quite a while,
quite a while,
yeah, a little while, a little bit of time.
Yeah, just a couple of decades.
A couple of decades.
You know, so this is the thing that we're trying to get across, or I'm trying to get across, and it's quite important because obviously with the WNR, things change. We're trying to reach out and do different things, and like I said, hopefully UniMatrixGaming is going to be a massive part of that coming in the future. But I just want to say on a personal note, one thing about Jamie, as he said next to me, he's very passionate about everything that you believe in. I mean, there's certain things that you like,
for sure,
you dislike, but you're very knowledgeable about it as well.
Well, yeah, you might think that.
No, I'll say this, right? You've got to take credit where it's due. It's really weird, because 5 years ago, like I said, the podcast started in 2015. The WNR podcast would never have started if it wasn't for you telling me at that point in time what software to use, what kind of hardware to get.
Yeah.
So, if anything, you're kind of responsible for the WNR podcast.
I'm sorry, guys. So, yeah, I mean, I remember when you came to me with this idea, and you were really passionate about it, weren't you? Like, and I was listening to a lot of podcasts at the time, and it wasn't really that popular back then.
No.
But yeah, we got you up and running, didn't we?
Well,
and you've taken it, and you've run you've run to the moon.
Well, this is the thing, though, and like I said, with the success that the WNR has had over the past 5 years, is thanks to, of course, all our fantastic listeners and the followers and everything like that. And if it gives us a chance now, after 5 years of growth, to kind of help out others, especially when it's a friend,
we appreciate it massively.
You know, by all means, I've got no problem doing that. And like I said, down the line as well. But this is the thing I'm talking about, because you are not a wrestling fan whatsoever, are you?
Not anymore. I mean, when I was a kid, I did like wrestling. Yeah. Right. But I haven't followed it for many. The thing is, throughout the late 90s and the early 2000s, I didn't actively watch it, probably because we didn't have Sky Sports or whatever it was, but I always had different wrestling games, so I always knew the wrestlers. And obviously, talking to you, I've known certain things about wrestling. But...
Yeah, I can't help but, even if people don't want to know, tell them about wrestling. So talk about your earliest memories, because everybody's got the earliest wrestling memory. What would be yours then, springs to mind?
I mean, for me, it was collecting the blue wrestling cards back in the early 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had a huge stack of these cards. Every kid did. I mean, I lived in Germany when I was a kid. My dad was in the army, so we all lived on a camp together, and basically all the kids had big stacks of cards, and that was basically my first memory. So you would go around a friend's house and they'd have Sky, so we'd watch wrestling with them. You know, I remember like Legion of Doom and things like that. But yeah, we used to just have all these cards. So I'd always have a headshot of all of these wrestlers and knew them in that capacity. And really, the only time I'd ever sort of seen it was with friends and playing a game called WWF Superstars on the Game Boy. Yeah, so that was my exposure to wrestling at that time. But I loved it. I loved all the drama. And
was any of the characters? Did any of them speak to you? Did you?
Of course, yeah. I loved the Ultimate Warrior at that time. I mean, I don't know what it was about him, the crazy hair and the ribbons on his arms, and it just the crazy physique he had. Yeah. Right, Hulk Hogan, obviously back then. The Undertaker. There was a few. Macho Man Randy Savage. I remember him.
Well, the Undertaker for me is, like I said, my earliest memory. I remember wrestling Kamala, and he went, Kamala, and it was the kind of casket match. And seeing that as a young boy, I was 5 or 6 at the time, was just so magical. And then the thing is, like, I kind of went away from it and then came back in about 99,
right,
when it was like the biggest period in professional wrestling.
Is this the Attitude Era?
This is the Attitude Era indeed. And then through that, it was kind of just trying to collect everything that I could. Because even back in, like, I was thinking to myself, right, let's go back to 95 and 96. Let's start watching the events from there. Let's kind of learn and then pick it up. And like, that's kind of where it came from. And it's kind of weird now, even with the podcast. Yeah. Was trying to, the last 5 years now, I've kind of gone of kind of that period in time. So this is what's kind of exciting as well, with what's going to happen next, even on the WNR, where anybody else. Right. It's kind of where wrestling's going to go as opposed to everything else, because obviously there's other interests, but
Yeah.
Because, you know, the WNR started off as like the WWE Network Review to kind of sort that out. And then WWE were dicks. There's no doubt about that. Trying to shut us down.
Yeah.
Which we've spoken about. And then, you know, trying to change things up a little bit. But there's no doubt like WWE are the biggest wrestling company going. I mean,
for sure.
Would you be able to name any other wrestling companies?
Of course. Probably one other. And maybe a third just because it's tagged on the end of certain games. But obviously WCW are massive, aren't they?
Yeah.
They were always massive in the 80s as well, weren't they?
Well, maybe they were in and out. I mean, the early 80s with kind of Ric Flair's champion, they were massive.
Right.
And then...
is that where Ric Flair came from?
That's where Ric Flair came from before that. Jim
Interesting.
Crockett Promotions, and they sold it to Ted Turner, became WCW. And they were kind of losing money hand over fist up until they kind of signed Hulk Hogan in the early 90s, and then became huge, and then shot themselves in the foot as well because of it.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon bought them out for a couple of million in the end.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's the other NWO.
Yeah.
That's where Hulk Hogan ended up, wasn't it?
NWO.
He was always on the right-hand side of every game sticker, you know, with NWO above his head.
NWO was a part of WCW, yeah. So that was the kind of group inside of WCW trying to take it down.
Right.
And one of the problems diluting the product at that time was everybody and their friend was joining NWO and had no good guys to fight against. And in the end, when you've got repetitive programming, you kind of turn the fans off. And like I said, during that time, the Attitude Era, they were doing stuff week in, week out, you know. So, but you know, talk about wrestling and all that. Like, I know you've not followed, but of course, talk about other interests as well. And I know from experience you are a fan of UFC.
I'd say, yeah.
Right. So I'm not gonna. This is not gonna be like a mass debate as we do on the podcast before about what's the but the difference between a UFC and a WWE.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, we're actually two guys that can actually have a normal conversation about this.
Sure.
But there's a lot of people who will watch UFC and absolutely hate WWE.
Right.
As opposed to there's a lot of people that like WWE but don't like UFC. I'm in one of those camps where I'm a fan of both, as include boxing.
Yeah.
But why do you think that is? And what is your problem? Not have you got a problem with wrestling, or is it a case
of course
just,
not. No problem with wrestling. I mean, for me, I think it probably stems from the dramatisation of WWE. That fans of MMA are, of course, the real biased ones. Oh, well, it's not real fighting. Well, you can't look at it like that, can you?
No.
You have to completely separate it. It would, it would be like hating martial arts movies because it's not real fighting. Well, you're watching a movie, so just enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
And most people can separate from that. So
I think that's a fair point, and I think that the problem is with that is. Well, my thing is with UFC, and which I love, which they've done a lot more now. Of course, you've been a fan for a lot longer than I have. Is the kind of more the promos beforehand?
Definitely,
like the kind of bad guy MMA fighters now.
Yeah.
Look at Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
the kind of
Jorge Masvidal.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like a wrestling-esque persona.
Yeah.
And then you've got the entrance musics, and of course,
100%.
They've
taken so much inspiration from WWE. It's undeniable.
But what annoys me is the fact WWE, because it is predetermined, can't tell a story as well as UFC can. Because you like Misha Tate winning the champion, the story of her not being able to beat Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Holly Holm knocking Rousey out, the champion.
Yeah.
No one gave Tate a chance.
No.
And coming through, putting Holm to sleep. And Holm didn't tap out at that point. She punched out. Which is an amazing wrestling storyline about redemption. And it annoys me how UFC can manage to pull that off.
Yeah.
But WWE don't.
I mean, that is the difference between real life and make-believe, if you will. It's so good, right? So.
And this is the problem. I think with WWE, they have a chance and they don't build it up as much as if you look at UFC. It's always the kind of two guys who want to be the best, and they only space for one of them, and that's what you're trying to do. And I think with wrestling, they forget about that sometimes and try and dilute it and try so many different things. It's like recently we've had a poisoning, and our wrestler got poisoned,
really?
And and stuff like this. So
they're really bringing in storylines to it. The thing is, I think with wrestling is. Yeah, you might not be able to have that sort of that real life weight to a situation, but what you do get is maybe not with the storytelling because people's opinions always change and what people like will always change, but consistency in performance from the athletes is always going to be there. Whereas with the MMA fight, you could hype a card up as much as you want. It could end in 20 seconds. Is that what people want? You know, not everybody wants. There's a lot of people that do want to see that, but there's a lot of people that don't. So you can't please everyone.
No, and like I said, it's the unpredictability of not being sure what happens in an event, which can, into the detriment of UFC, but actually help that as well.
Yeah.
And I think WWE with that have kind of seen it, and we've seen a lot of former MMA fighters coming across the wrestling now.
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz back in the day.
Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock, though, I mean, I really like Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
He was a little bit bland, there's no doubt, but the way he used to psych himself out and come in, and the whole point of, if he snapped, he'd grab your ankle and that would be the job done.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes with Ken Shamrock, he's a little bit ahead of his time, because I don't think the wrestling world was ready for the kind of MMA infused style. We are seeing that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of purist wrestling fans don't like it because you're kicking each other as hard as you can, and you're leaving marks on.
Okay.
And they're saying that's not the art form. The art form is not to hurt each other.
Sure.
Whereas the other wrestlers are saying, well, no, it's a hybrid because people want it a little bit more realistic.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, fair enough.
But like you said, you can never keep everybody
You can't
happy.
keep everyone happy, can you? No.
But just because there's a difference of opinion, this is what we're trying to get across as well. It doesn't matter. You know, everybody can have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Just don't start calling each other an arsehole because of it. You know.
Yeah, there's no need to be toxic. If you can have a conversation about things, and it's okay to have a different opinion to somebody else. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, if everybody had the same opinion, it would be really boring.
This is what I find, you know, when we're even talking about stuff, either it be films or anything like that, there's
Yeah.
always a kind of difference, or coming from a different angle, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's kind of good about it. But
Is it probably like wrestling that would then go and watch UFC? They've probably not watched it before. It's especially at that time, it was the sport was still growing quite a lot. But Brock to become champion of the UFC and really prove everybody wrong, and while he was battling a really nasty illness. Fair play to him. But CM Punk, I can't really give him the same credit, unfortunately. I mean, because he didn't perform. But if he did, then, I'd have the same plaudits for him, but no.
one thing about the difference between Punk and Lesnar is, like, CM Punk was one of my favourite wrestlers.
Right.
And a lot of wrestling fans, a bit like UFC, I would say, maybe the products as a whole, but they pick out a couple of wrestlers or a couple of fighters as your kind of favourites. And then you'll kind of see, and that's why people get so annoyed on Twitter.
Right.
Because you're going, oh, why are they not using X, wrestler X?
Sure.
Because, they should be champion. CM Punk was one of the guys that I watched Raw every Monday, 2-hour mark. He'd come out and do like a 15-minute promo.
Yeah.
And I sat down to make sure I watched that.
Right.
One of the things I respected about it was the kind of WWE machine, and them saying this is certain ways about it, and him going, well, no, fuck it. Like, I want to go and try something else.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to UFC. Yes, I'm not at that level. But,
for me, I respect him a lot for getting into the cage, because that has to be. You've got to have big balls to do that, big balls. But he's got a team of people that are helping him that should have really, said to him, you're not quite good enough.
The first fight, I think, with Mickey Gall was definitely different level. I think what was most embarrassing was the second fight with the guy really not trying to put him away, and I think
it wasn't nice. Yeah,
that kind of took away from it a little bit.
Definitely.
Whereas with Brock, he came, and a lot of people go, "Well, I don't think much," but people didn't realise maybe he wasn't he's an NCAA champion.
Exactly. I mean, he's a pedigree wrestler. I mean, come on, he's
275 fucking pounds.
Right, exactly.
So it's like Ngannou's size.
Yeah.
Being able to take
he's
you
a
down.
freak. He's a freak of an athlete. Absolutely.
And like I said, Frank Mir with
he got him in a heel hook, didn't he? And I felt bad for him, but you could tell that Brock was nervous. He was twitchy. He was like throwing those little hammer fists and stuff. I mean, his first few fights, he was really just finding his feet, and he did.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, because now the news has come out that he's apparently a free agent again.
I did see this,
and the question is, where he would go. A couple of years ago, again, he was a free agent, and even Dana White said, "Oh, there's a chance that he, there's a strong chance he'll come back."
Yeah.
Is he just a great negotiator and getting Vince McMahon to put his price up? Because there's no other wrestler in history, not Hulk Hogan, not anybody, who has had a fixed term contract to get paid that amount, to get paid like $10 million for like 7 matches or something like that.
But he was the organisation's biggest star, no?
Well, this is the thing. They've definitely with him as the biggest star, especially since Cena. It's kind of weird because even being a fan for this amount of time, when I've seen John Cena debut and now he's finally going away and doing Hollywood movies, you're thinking, oh shit, it's not really what it once was.
Right.
And you talk about when it's usually like a face, used to be the Hulk Hogan, used to be a Stone Cold,
The Rock, and
The
stuff
Rock.
like that,
Nowadays there's not really that. You've got Roman Reigns, who is.
I noticed that actually, in the UK when it hit the BT, there was no real distinctive face for it for me. Apart from, I think it's McIntyre.
Yes,
he seems to be the one that they want to push in the UK.
Yes, well, don't get me wrong, I love Drew McIntyre.
Right, okay.
And they've actually, because WWE had a problem building stars, and this is what's coming back to bite them a little bit now. The past 10 years, they have a wrestler come through. He gets to a certain level. They say to themselves, "Oh, a bit of injury, or he hasn't got the personality." They never make him a champion. They kind of fall away. So this is why every time you'll see a big event, bring out the Undertakers, your Triple H's, your legends, and all this kind of stuff. McIntyre's the first guy they've kind of gone, right, let's get behind him, let's see what he can do.
Right.
Even though, and I know he's won it in Mania in April, he's still not main evented the pay-per-view since he won the title.
Right.
But
because of COVID or what?
Well, no, there's been every event he has not, he's been in the co-main event. Not sure why.
Okay.
But I just thought to kind of, getting pushed down your throat.
Yeah.
And when CM Punk was champion, John Cena was in the main event, even though Punk was champion. So it's kind of, not saying it's similar, but still WWE not really going all out and saying, that's your guy. Brock Lesnar was the one they went, right,
all in.
He's our guy. Because his first match back, he lost to Cena. Because they weren't
was
sure.
Was that the first time he ever lost a match?
It wasn't the first time he ever lost a match. He had lost previously, but since he'd come back, and then Cena beat him, and everyone, okay, that's to teach Lesnar a lesson.
Right.
And then they went with him, and I mean, he destroyed John Cena at SummerSlam. The biggest match for him was The Undertaker at WrestleMania, where he broke his streak.
Right.
And I'm still not over that personally as what happened, because the streak should never have been broken.
Right.
It's again one of those stories. When you think about like a UFC fighter, wherever it is, an undefeated streak, after 25 years, or what it was at the time, 21 years, you're thinking, look, that's something good. Give him a chance to not break the streak. But Lesnar did.
Right.
And my thing is that Lesnar didn't need it. Lesnar was a big enough star without being the man that broke the streak. But at least he was, and Undertaker said it as well, he was a legitimate threat. If anybody was going to beat him, like a 50-year-old man at WrestleMania, it would be someone like Brock Lesnar.
Right. Yeah.
So I can kind of see.
Yeah.
But Lesnar has been the star recently, and I do think at this moment in time, it's just a case of him saying to McMahon, give me what I want at this moment in time. I will go somewhere. I don't think he will.
Right.
Because to have limited dates he does in WWE, well, I think will be a lot better. Even though he might be able to fight, I still don't think that would be an option. I mean, if you were to have, would you have Lesnar in UFC? And who would you have him fight? I mean,
definitely have him in the UFC. Come on, he's a massive draw. He's a freak. I love seeing him fight. There's obviously talk about him fighting John Jones, which I mean, I don't know. I don't know who I'd have him fight. There's so many fights there, but I mean, what Brock brings is a payday for everybody. I think at some point he was the biggest pay-per-view draw there was going, and then I think Conor McGregor sort of took that mantle later on. But yeah, we want Brock in the UFC.
But the thing is, it's a draw for having a name. Even like a Punk who was on the UFC card or the pay-per-view would have brought additional buys to it.
100%. Dana would put Punk on now. He knows he's not that good a fighter, but he'd put him on because he's a massive draw.
But I think when they had a Cain Velasquez Brock Lesnar match in WWE.
Did they? Oh, I remember this.
In Saudi Arabia, and it was the worst piece of shit that you have ever seen.
Was it?
Honestly, I'm not even going to replay you the match because I vowed that day never to watch it
Fair
again.
enough.
It was the worst shoot match ever.
Was it?
And personally, I don't think it brings money to WWE. I don't think there's any UFC fans who are seeing... even if Conor McGregor, maybe, McGregor, if he goes to WWE, will people go, oh, I want to watch a pay-per-view with him fighting? And who can he fight? Because Triple H is going to be fucking 3 times the size.
He's so tiny. Look at him. He's such a tiny man. The problem for me as well, like, I mean, I've got no problem with wrestling. I was quite fond of it as a child, but when Ronda Rousey goes over there, even when Tyson Fury's getting into his spats and stuff, it's fun to see the promos and that. But I'm not going to tune in to watch it. No, and I think that's the difference.
And I think that is the difference. And I think with Fury, they could have maybe built up, because now there's a lot of talk and there's been a lot of shit on Twitter the past week or so with McIntyre and Fury as well.
I've seen him do a video on the train.
Yes.
I'm thinking about all these people I want to punch in the face.
Yeah. And McIntyre basically saying, bring it, And like I say, Wembley Stadium, Fury and McIntyre, if Fury was the undisputed heavyweight boxing champion and McIntyre was the undisputed WWE champion, I think that makes sense. My only problem with that was when Fury had his last match, he showed up like a basketball match. So I would change his. Why not come out in your boxing gear?
Yeah, right.
But why?
Okay.
At least when Mayweather did it with Big Show, he wore his
with Big Show.
WrestleMania
Really?
24, Big Show Mayweather. It's probably one of the best outside celebrities versus wrestlers, because the height discrepancy. But in the leading up to it, Big Show had got on his knees in front of Mayweather and
he's
said
still
to
taller
him,
than him.
and said to him about the same height. And he said, "Go on." And Mayweather cracked him 4 or 5 times. Actually, broke his nose. And Big chased after him, knocking over security.
Oh wow!
And he was pissed. But actually, the show, like, they had Mayweather has entourage, which got fucking destroyed by Big Show. Right. But Big Show actually hit a couple of moves on Mayweather. And it was quite a spectacle, because you're thinking, wow, Mayweather knocked him out with like a chain wrapped around the hand. But when it's done like that, it's very entertaining. But the problem is, the outside star will usually go over on the wrestler in ring.
Right.
And if Fury and McIntyre were to face, they'd really worry about McIntyre, especially in a kind of worked match, if it was, losing to a Fury. Because, like you talk about, if we're going to talk about a boxer versus a wrestler, what we like to do in the podcast, and what I've done for many years with the wrestling event, is try and take it as seriously as possible.
For sure.
And try and work out, well, if a wrestler's going to face a boxer, you're going to take him down.
He's going to take him down.
Exactly.
It's going to be ground and pound. It's going to be game over very quickly.
Whereas a boxer's best chance is trying to stay behind a jab and try and avoid it.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, and I think it might build excitement, but I think that's a problem sometimes, because I'm not sure a British fan might be involved in that, but how invested will American fans be involved,
Yeah, and how big is Tyson Fury in the American market? I mean, he beat Wilder. Wilder was their champion. It's very difficult, isn't it? Yeah.
So, but it's interesting. But like I say, that's the thing with UFC. But we will move on. And I want to talk about another wrestling company.
Okay.
I want to talk about AEW. Now,
AEW?
Have you ever heard of them?
I haven't. Please enlighten me.
So, All Elite Wrestling.
Okay.
Started by Tony Khan, who owns Fulham as well.
Ah.
And they started a wrestling promotion about 1.5 years ago. Look, people listen and they will correct me on the details, right? So I know it's about 1.5 years. They're probably going to say about 2 years ago, but the company didn't start properly. It's about 1 year they've been in television now.
Right.
They've got a pay-per-view coming this weekend. Got stars like Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho?
Chris Jericho, yeah, he's gone across now to that. They've got Orange Cassidy, who has his hands in his pockets when he wrestles.
What?
Yes, no, don't get me wrong. Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
He's brilliant.
Okay.
He's brilliant. And a lot of other wrestlers, like there's some WWE guys, some that.
Right.
But what I want to do, we're going to prediction experiment coming up in a bit.
Right.
I'm going to talk to you. We're going to talk about AEW for a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to learn about the product.
Fine.
And then I want some predictions down for the event that's happening tonight.
Interesting.
And then I'll post them afterwards and see how you did compared to certain experts. I want to find out. If someone who didn't even know what the company was called, right, before the event, has a better chance of predicting either a perfect score or the majority of it versus an expert.
Fair enough. Because without any bias, because
it's down to chance, isn't it? Like, when you're going to have a 50-50 chance either way.
Right.
Do you know?
Exactly.
So you could get a perfect score. like the WNR did last weekend for WWE Payback. Not that, I don't want to go on about it, but,
I haven't heard about this. Please do tell me.
Yeah, I've already said it a couple of times. We will be challenging someone tonight. Obviously, we won't challenge you because,
it'll be unfair.
Unfair fight.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll go with that anyway. So let's talk about AEW then.
Okay.
And the last time we checked out AEW was Fight of the Fallen.
Right.
Yeah. So on July 29th episode of Dynamite, number 1 ranked MJF, who had never been pinned or submitted in singles competition, began a presidential election-style campaign to become the next AEW World Champion and held a State of the Industry address.
MJF? Is that a wrestler?
MJF is a wrestler.
He must be pretty good, I would say. Here we go. So he said that it is now time for a new guard, and that the old guard, referring to the champion John Moxley, you must educate me on him, was failing as a leader to lead by example, and that he would be the one to lead AEW for the next 25 years.
Right. Maxwell Jacob Friedman is MJF. He's this kind of AEW guy who's not really been in any other promotion, quite young, and he wants to be the future of the industry.
Right.
John Moxley is
in the industry. Oof.
John Moxley is the former Dean Ambrose,
okay,
who used to be in WWE as part of the Shield. Now the Shield is probably one of the best groups that we've had in the past 10, 15 years.
Right.
With Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, former WWE champion, multiple-time champion, got annoyed with Vince McMahon and basically left and went to AEW. It was kind of one of AEW's biggest acquisitions at the time.
Right, okay.
But MJF finished the speech by challenging Moxley, who's also never been pinned or submitted in a single competition, for the AEW World Championship at All Out. Pay-per-view tonight. A few days later, it was announced MJF would face the winner of a title match between Moxley and number 5 ranked Darby Allin for the title at All Out.
Interesting. So, on August 5th episode of Dynamite, despite MJF attacking him with the championship belt during the match, Moxley defeated Allin to retain the championship, keeping Moxley as the defending champion against MJF at All Out.
Darby Allin is a kind of really cool wrestler, quite a small guy. He's got face paint down the side. He's kind of one of the, he pretends like he's dead, but the kind of, his bumps are really, like, if he continues the style, he'll probably be in the wheelchair in about 10 years.
Right.
His finish is the coffin drop where he jumps off backwards off the top rope down onto his opponent without protecting himself. So he's a little bit,
doing a backflip, I presume.
Yeah, just all the way back down. Okay. So, but on night 2 of Fyter Fest, Jamie, Chris Jericho defeated Orange Cassidy.
Well, there we go.
Cassidy
probably because he had his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, well, exactly. He then wanted the rematch with Jericho, who eventually accepted after repeated attacks from Cassidy included staining his white jacket with orange juice.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, exactly. Following a debate between the two that was hosted by Eric Bischoff, the match in the August 12th episode of Dynamite, that Cassidy won. Interesting.
And in the following week, Jericho said that since they were tied, they needed to have one more match, and he challenged Cassidy to a Misoma Mayhem match at All Out. You'll have to explain that to me as well. Which can be won by pinfall. In fact, I'm going to explain it to myself. Submission, or by throwing the opponent into a vat of mimosa. What's mimosa?
Fish juice or something.
Oh, okay. So after Cassidy accepted the challenge, he was attacked by Jericho and the Inner Circle.
The Inner Circle is Jericho's heel group.
Okay.
On the August 22nd episode of Dynamite, the NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa appeared for the first time in AEW and challenged Hikaru Shida to a match for the AEW Women's Championship at All Out, saying that she wanted to bring the AEW Women's Division some respect. It was then confirmed in the August 27th episode that Shida would defend the title with Rosa at All Out. So NWA is another company.
Okay.
National Wrestling Alliance. They were the ones where Ric Flair was champion back in like the 80s.
Right.
The NWA World title was used back then.
I see.
But they've not had a show since COVID.
Wow.
So now they've reached out to AEW, or AEW reached out to them, and their women's champion is fighting AEW's women's champion.
Right. Get a bit of publicity there. Nice. On the August 22nd episode of Dynamite, it was announced that the 4 teams would take part in a tag team gauntlet match on the following show to determine who would challenge the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Hangman, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega, to a title match at All Out.
Adam Page is basically a cowboy who rides to the ring on a horse occasionally.
He sounds cool.
Yeah, he is quite cool, actually. Buckshot Lariat is his finisher, which is quite good. Kenny Omega has been. There's a guy called Dave Meltzer who basically he's done Wrestling Reports, Wrestling Observer for like the past 40 years, and he says Kenny Omega's like the greatest wrestler on the planet.
Wow.
There's a lot of debate about this because Omega, even he's never been in WWE. His stuff he's done in Japan, it is amazing. The matches against Okada and things like this, but people are saying because he's not done it in America as much. Should he really be? And there's a lot of people who love Omega. Look, don't you fucking say a bad word about him. Don't you say? So there's a lot of that going on as well, you know. And they've kind of put him in a tag team feud at this moment.
Okay.
But on the August 27th episode, F. Triller and Dax Harwood used to be the Revival in WWE. They left and went to AEW.
Wow.
They won the gauntlet match by last eliminating Best Friends, which was Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, to earn the title at All Out.
Fair enough. So the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, and the Young Bucks, which is Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, brothers I presume, also took part in the gauntlet match. During the match, Adam Page betrayed the Young Bucks by stopping Nick Jackson from breaking Jackson. The Young Bucks in turn removed him from the Elite. Is that a team?
The Elite was feuding with the Inner Circle. That had Kenny Omega, Adam Page, Cody, and the Young Bucks.
Right, okay. Of which Page's tag team partner, Kenny Omega, is still a member.
They've been, like, the past 6 months, they've been teasing the fact that these two men are going to split up, but we've not actually seen it yet. Okay. But Page started off a little bit weird, and then Omega's been acting weird recently as well, and we thought, he's going to do it. So it's kind of, it's up in the air, but I'll give you a clue. It should be coming to an end this weekend.
Okay.
All right. On the August 27th episode of Dynamite, the 21-man Casino Battle Royal, first featured at the previous year's events, was announced again to occur at All Out, with the winner receiving a future title match for the AEW World Championship.
Okay. During the same episode, Darby Allin, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, The Butcher, and The Blade, and Eddie Kingston were announced as the 9 participants.
And on the September 2nd episode of Dynamite, Austin Gunn, Billy, Jake Hager, Santana Ortiz, Sean Spears, and Best Friends Chuck Taylor and Trent were also announced for the Battle Royal. The remaining 4 participants are yet to be confirmed. So we've caught up with AEW. Now you're an expert.
I'm up to speed. I know everything about this organisation.
We've caught up with like 2 months worth of storylines. Just like that.
Fair enough.
Crack on,
Predictions
mate.
will be easy.
Yeah, you crack on. All right, so what we're going to do now, so it's prediction experiment.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the match, right?
Right.
And then you're going to tell me who you're going to win. And like I say, if you want a hint, I don't mind, but I might be wrong as well.
Okay.
You know, it's happened once.
Okay.
It was
it's happened once.
Right. So work from the bottom up. So we'll start off with from Britt Baker. So Britt Baker versus Big Swole. Now, Britt Baker is an actual dentist. She's officially a dentist.
Right.
But she's also a wrestler, so she's fighting in the first tooth and nail match.
And she's a dentist?
She's a dentist.
I think she's our winner.
So Britt Baker.
Yeah. I think Big Swole's having her molars taken out.
Well, it's going to be cinematic, so we actually might see her in the chair as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally, they're going to try and do that.
She's going to get put under.
Yeah. All right, up next, Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. This match, Sammy Guevara threw a... Well, Matt Hardy's...
I remember him.
You know.
He was from the wrestling.
Exactly, yeah. He's from the wrestling.
He's from the wrestling.
He used to do the wrestling. Yeah. He had part of the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
With Edge and Christian Dudley.
Didn't they used to do the X thing?
That's the X. No, don't worry about that. See,
don't listen to me.
This is helping, isn't it? No, Hardy, and then basically he's got a broken. Okay. So he decided he gets visited from like a he's got this magic power, and he inhabits these different characters from the past. So Broken Matt could be this kind of prophecy of someone like Tutankhamun and things like this.
Right.
So he can change. But Sammy Guevara's kind of young upstart guy who threw a chair. Apparently not the right chair. Not the right chair.
Right.
Because it opened up Matt Hardy's head like 20 stitches.
Oh, dear.
I don't know if this is part of the story or if this is what happened. But the feud continued. They've had a couple of matches. And this is kind of like the rubber match, so to speak.
Oh, so they've had 2 matches already?
Yes.
A split decision?
Yes.
Right.
So Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara. But it's a broken rules match. And if Hardy loses... he will leave AEW.
Well, I mean, if Matt Hardy can change into anything he wants, including Tutankhamun, and it's a broken rules match, and he's likely to leave the organisation, I'm going to go with Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy. I would say that is a great one. Up next, do you know what's really weird? Explaining this, it sounds ridiculous after a while, you know? Because next we've got Jurassic Express, which is Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Is it a tag team partner a dinosaur?
Luchasaurus is the dinosaur. Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Yes, of course he is.
Of course, why wouldn't he be?
Why wouldn't he be? And Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. So Jungle Boy's like big hair out all over the place, about half the size of Luchasaurus, and then you've got Marco Stunt, who's half the size of him as well. So
Brilliant.
like a trio.
Okay.
They're Jurassic Express. They're going to get Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, and the Young Bucks. They kind of started AEW along with Cody and Kenny Omega and a couple others as well. So they've still got an important role to play.
So I think, in my opinion, the Jurassic Express seems like a fun gimmick. Seemed like a team that would be put there to be beaten by the Jackson brothers, because it would be embarrassing, let's face it. Yeah. So I think the Jackson brothers take this one.
Right, so yeah, we're going to go Young Bucks in that one. All right, that's cool. So I'm not helping them out at all in this one either. Up next, we've got the Dark Order, which is Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall. Right, it's an 8-man tag team match. The Dark Order, Brody Lee used to be Luke Harper in WWE, and he's had some success there. He's come over to AEW, challenged Moxley for the world title, lost, but then since then has beaten Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship, which is like your IC title, and he's kind of been dominating with the Dark Order. Colt Cabana is the guy that I met and wasn't very nice when we met him in person, so he blocked me on Twitter. Don't hold it against him.
This guy sounds like a douchebag.
Yeah, don't hold it against him. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, guys wear a mask and teaming with him as well. Matt Cardona is the former Zack Ryder in WWE. He's jumped across now as well. Scorpio Sky is a really underrated talent. He's not really had that much exposure. And Dustin Rhodes, former Goldust, brother of Cody, and QT Marshall as well. This is quite an open matchup.
I mean, from what you're saying to me about Colt Cabana, you're saying basically not to hold it against him and not to write him off. I would say he was a dick to you. You still rate him as a wrestler. So I'm going to side with that. I mean, it seems unfair. There's about 15 names there. That's like 15 against 3, so they've got to win.
So you're going the Dark Order?
Yes.
All right, that's fair. You think there's a lot of names in that one? You wait until the fucking 21-man Battle Royal. You can guess the participants who are not in the match if you want. But 21-man Battle Royal. Okay, let me take a deep breath. And this is who we got in there.
Explain to me what a Battle Royale is. Is it a Royal Rumble?
Well, Battle Royals were around before Royal Rumbles.
Well, then I missed it.
Basically, a Battle Royal is everybody in the ring at once. So you know, like a Rumble, they come down every 2 minutes. In a Battle Royal, everybody starts in ring.
Whoa! But it's a free for all.
So everybody against each other, and it's everybody elimination over the top rope.
Yeah.
And the last person standing is the title shot.
Wow! I like this. I'm a sucker for a Royal Rumble, so this sounds good. I like this. Okay. There's one winner in this.
Right.
Then.
So yeah, out of these, Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., even Ray Phoenix, The Butcher, The Blade, Eddie Kingston, Sean Spears, Billy, Austin Gunn, Jake Hager, Santana Ortiz, Chuck Taylor, Trent versus, of course, a couple other guys. Darby Allin's been featured quite on the top of programming recently as the kind of underdog. He's been feuding with Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Right. Brian Cage faced Moxley for the championship unsuccessfully. Jake Hager also in this match has been unsuccessful against Moxley in the past. The Butcher and the Blade are part of the Dark Order. Sean Spears used to be Ty Dillinger in WWE's come across. Santana Ortiz are part of Inner Circle. In there as well as a tag team. Eddie Kingston is one of the dark horses in this. And Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix both are fantastic wrestlers. Maybe not had a chance, but they're probably more of a tag team.
Right.
So,
I can see there being a lot of shenanigans in this match. There's going to be a lot of people turning on people, a lot of maybe backstabbing and all that kind of stuff. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of names, and I probably can't pick a winner. But
You're going to have to.
yeah, Darby Allin.
Right.
I have no idea.
You might actually be on for a perfect score.
There
here.
we go.
You don't know. I mean, at the moment, not too far off what I'd go.
Fair enough.
Okay, women's title match up next, and it's Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa.
Okay.
NWA Women's Champion versus the
I remember
AEW
from
Women's
before,
Champion. Yes. Previously on the podcast.
Okay, so Hikaru Shida, she sounds cool.
Yes.
I like the sound of her. Which one's from the AEW?
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, and it's their organisation, right?
It's AEW's organisation, yeah.
I'm going to pick her. I think she's probably going to win in their organisation, because it would be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
So you're going Shida.
Is Shida from the AEW?
Shida AEW, yeah.
And she sounds cool.
And she is quite cool.
And she has a C next to her now. She's the champion.
They're
She's winning that match.
both champions.
This is Thunder Rosa is yeah. She's not winning. AEW are throwing them a bone, aren't they?
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
So Shida is our winner.
All right, that's cool. Up next, Kenny Omega and Adam Page, who are the tag champions, versus FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood with Tully Blanchard. Like I said, tag team titles on the line.
Okay. Well, from what we've discussed previously, Omega sounds like the. So Omega and Page are going to win this fight for me, I think.
Even though they're going to split up maybe sooner rather than later.
Oh, it's interesting. So yeah, they're the champions, and these guys could be the new boys on the block, the new champions.
It's up to you, though. I'm not going to.
Fair enough. I mean, you have swayed my opinion there quite a lot, but in the interest of fairness, we will keep it
we'll
my
stick
original
there.
answer. If it's like pointless, I can only take the first answer.
Yeah. I don't think the podcast has ever been compared to Pointless before, but I'll take that. All right, our co-main event then, it's Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, and of course it's a Mimosa Mayhem match. Match can be won by pinfall submission or throwing the opponent into a tank of Mimosa.
Well, can I just say, if this guy keeps his hands in his pockets, he's throwing nobody anywhere.
He doesn't. The gimmick started off as that,
Right.
But he has evolved a little bit now into taking his hands out of his pockets.
So he can throw things.
He can throw, yes.
I can't vote against Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's our winner here. That young man is getting dunked.
All right, so then the main event of AEW.
Okay.
The main event is John Moxley, the champion, going against MJF with Wardlow and Moxley from using his finishing move.
Okay, that's interesting. MJF, he seems like he's something in this. He seems like he's pretty good. What did we talk about earlier? He did some kind of amazing pin, or he won a match.
He did the presidential campaign, MJF, and he has not lost or pinned. Both these men have not lost, submitted at all since they've both been in the company.
Oh, and Moxley's the champ.
Moxley's a champ, but again, I don't want to sway you, but it swayed me a little bit, so I'll let you in. The last episode of Dynamite, MJF completely destroyed Moxley and left him in a bloody mess.
See, he would be my first choice. As Moxley is champion, right? I think it's good drama to have MJF win the belt from him and possibly finish him.
You're going MJF.
I'm going MJF with a finish.
Hopefully all these matches have a finish. Rather than,
okay, but you said that these two have never been finished, so they're still fighting all their previous fights.
No, I take that back. Okay. No, you are bang on, actually, because, one of these men, 1-0 must go, and tonight...
well, it's got MJF, and he's going to take the belt. It's good for the drama, okay? It's good viewing.
Right, so that's good shit then. So you've got your predictions, so I'll run through them quickly. You've got Britt Baker, Matt Hardy, Young Bucks, Dark Order, Darby Allin, Hikaru Shida, Omega and Page, Chris Jericho, and MJF as your new AEW champion.
I mean, if you ask me, that's a perfect score.
Do you know what? If it is, then, like I say, it's going to be amazing because it will prove that, in actual fact, you can do predictions on just going through the card quickly.
Sure.
Having a look,
having a little bit of background,
having a conversation about them. Yeah, I mean, if you went in blind,
Okay, if I went in completely blind with this, I probably would have picked Big Swole in the beginning because it's a cool name. Okay, I would have gone Matt Hardy anyway because it's Matt Hardy. I would have still picked the Young Bucks, the Jackson brothers, because the Jurassic Express sounds stupid. So, the others, it would be a 50 no. And yeah, in terms the Battle Royale, I wouldn't have been able to pick a name out of a hat there. I would have just picked one at random, like I did. So I might have picked the same name. I don't know. I would have gone Sheeda.
You would have gone Sheeda?
Yeah, I would have gone Mr. Omega, I think, in that one, and I would have gone Chris Jericho. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting. I might have gone with Moxley in the title fight because he is champion, but we'll see.
We'll find out and we'll post it on Twitter as well and let you know how you scored.
Thank you.
The
I look forward to it. Yeah.
No, yeah, it should be fun. Like I said, anybody else who's listening to this and wants to take part in any predictions, then you can challenge at the WNRJR and just say, we challenge you for predictions, and I'll take on any man or woman.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because at the moment, I am on. I have not lost a pay-per-view.
Reigning champion.
I am reigning champion.
Undisputed.
There is no one that's come close. There is no one.
No man has come close.
So if you do want to challenge us, by all means.
If you want to hit me up on Twitter, it's UniMatrixG on Twitter. Come and speak to me about my predictions if you want to have a chat about that with my limited knowledge that I have now. That would be quite fun.
Exactly. So we're going to hopefully, like I said, that will be on Twitter tomorrow. But let's go back to what we're talking about, because we talk about wrestling games. And we talk about your first wrestling game as well on the Game Boy.
The Game Boy game, yeah.
What made the game so special for you?
Do you know what? Back then, the case itself, like the cartridge itself, had this great colourful picture of all these wrestlers on it. I think it might have had The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt. I think there was 3 of them on there. The animations were brilliant, and the music was brilliant. It did bring the WWF, as it was then, to life for me. I always remember going in, and Ted DiBiase's The $1 Million Man, I think, his music used to frighten the life out of me, because it used to frighten the life out of me when he ran into the ring, because I thought he was always going to beat me. So yeah, that's my first memories of it, and yeah, it was just a fantastic game. It was
Well, yeah, I've got a problem with Billy Gunn in that kind of
really?
way. No, yeah, because my first game that I remember, because obviously with Mega Drive, it was more about Sonic and stuff like this, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then when I was getting to wrestling in 99, PlayStation 1 was around, and WWF Attitude, made by Acclaim.
Wow.
I remember that.
I don't even know that game.
Honestly, it was the second one. Warzone was the first one, and then I went and bought that one after the fact.
Right.
But this one was kind of like late 98, early 99 roster. And what I used to do, every wrestling game, and I think it's good for anybody who wants to learn a wrestling game, put the difficulty up to the highest you can,
right,
go into the ring, and Billy Gunn was the first guy I thought, Billy Gunn fucking wiped the floor with me. But you learn how to reverse, you learn how to try and get the way, how to hit a finishing move. Yes, you'll get destroyed, but you'll kind of, and then when you turn the difficulty down a little bit, and then you try and learn how to do it. Yeah. Looking back, the graphics were so blocky and awful.
Yeah, but when you think about it in your mind's eye, it doesn't always seem like. It's only when you go back and you look at it again for yourself.
Well, that's why I'm glad.
That's what we're doing today.
We are going to go back and ruin it for ourselves, because there's a lot of talk about what the greatest wrestling game of all time is. And like I said, we've got experiences with different wrestling games. And
I mean, there's been a lot. There's been. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's in the hundreds of wrestling games.
Well, it's weird you say that, because it's almost like we've planned it. We've got a list of wrestling games. Yeah. We're only going to look at WWE, WCW, ECW, and TNA ones.
Okay.
Honourable mention first, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Fire Pro Wrestling World for 2018 on the PS4. I've got it upstairs.
Fair enough.
It's very, very good, because you can customise your wrestlers and put different scenarios in there.
Okay.
And NJPW have been very, very important for wrestling games, because back in the day, WCW games were kind of based off the Japanese style, and then basically just changed it for the characters.
Okay.
So the style that we saw, and also the early THQ games, were very influenced by those styles as well.
I see.
ECW Championship Wrestling, they had ECW Hardcore Revolution, in 2000 for the N64, PlayStation, Game Boy Color, Dreamcast, and Anarchy Rules. I have both games on the PlayStation. I don't know where my PlayStation games are, but I had like WF WrestleMania and all them kind of stuff together.
Yeah.
I don't know where I've put them. But that was a cool game because you could do barbed wire rope matches and hardcore stuff like this. But it was a kind of, after WWE had moved on from Acclaim, ECW had a couple of games made for them in the early 2000s. Total Non-Stop Action. TNA Impact was their big game, which
TNA Impact, I think I remember this one.
Do you know, TNA Impact is really weird now because people have a go on Soul, maybe so they weren't as big as they was. But when they were doing ratings back in the day, I mean, they got 2 million people.
Really?
And that's what Raw is getting
day.
now.
Wow.
I mean, that's 10 years ago, and Raw is now getting that. And that's what Impact was. So Impact was a legitimate second company.
Yeah.
It's a shame the wrestling game was the biggest piece of shit.
Yeah,
going.
right. Yeah, well, that doesn't help.
It was fucking awful.
Right.
You had you had about 12 wrestlers, a couple of match types, and it was just ever so repetitive and boring. And I was hoping with the roster that they had, with the stuff, the wrestlers, because you watch a product and you go, look at these guys flying over the top rope. And then when you can't actually achieve that in-game.
Really? Yeah.
If it's a PlayStation game or something like that, or PS2, you might say that limits at the time. But when you move into PS3, that's my biggest problem with it.
Sure.
World Championship Wrestling. We've got a list here, so we'll list them together. We've got WCW Wrestling for 1989 on the NES.
Yeah, WCW The Main Event from 1994 on the Game Boy.
Yeah, we had WCW Super Brawl Wrestling 94 on the SNES.
Interesting. WCW versus The World, 1997 on the PlayStation.
Yes, and then WCW versus NWO World Tour 1997 on the N64, a game that I can actually see right now. I'm looking at it.
We're looking at it.
Right now.
In the flesh, in the plastic.
You played that game in the N64, didn't you? Yeah, I mean, it was pretty.
I don't know if I played World Tour. I played one of them. It had Kevin Nash on the front with Hulk Hogan on the N64. I don't remember which one it was. It wasn't that one. It was another one. That's got Goldberg in it.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. It's got Raven on the front as well.
Okay.
Right, and you think at the time, Nash, Hogan, Goldberg, huge stars. Raven, not so much. The guy who actually was developing it and doing the artwork was a huge fan of Raven.
Really?
So I decided to put him on the artwork for it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I think the game that I had was Kevin Nash on the left and Hulk Hogan on the right. And it was WCW NWO, but that was a fantastic game. I remember that one well.
Well, like you said, the N64 games, I absolutely loved them. We also had WCW Nitro for the PlayStation, the N64, Microsoft Windows.
Yeah, WCW and NWO Revenge, which we've just been looking at for the Nintendo 64.
WCW NWO Thunder for the PlayStation. Now, Thunder was a direct rip of Nitro. Those were changed. That was the only kind of major difference in it.
Brilliant. Nice money spin, guys. Well done. Yeah, WCW Mayhem 1999 on the PlayStation.
I got to say, that's probably one of my favourite games because of the roster and the way it was brilliant.
Right.
I think WCW Backstage Assault for the PlayStation N64 in 2000 would have been as good. But what was the main problem with Backstage Assault? Do you know?
I don't.
No, it was always backstage.
It was always backstage.
There was no ring. You played a wrestling game and you want a ring.
Brilliant.
And it just
what next? We'll have FIFA where you can only play in the car park warming up.
It's like FIFA Street, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, but you want a wrestling ring. That's the whole point of a wrestling game, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Anyway, and then WWE, they have got so many, we're literally just going to run through them now. I mean, oh my word. You've got Micro League Wrestling for Amiga and the Commodore in 1987.
See, the Amiga, I never really had consoles growing up. I always got them about 4 years after they went out of date when everybody was getting the next one. But I had an Amiga the whole time, but I never had a wrestling game for it, so... WWF WrestleMania 1989 on the NES.
Wow. WWF Superstars 1989 on the arcade.
See, it's funny because it's not it's listed later on. I see. WWF WrestleMania Challenge 1990 on the NES and Commodore 64.
You got WWF Superstars 1991 on the Game Boy.
That's the one. That's the one. If any of you have got an old Game Boy Go on eBay and buy that game, or just watch it on YouTube. In fact, do you know what? We might do a video on our YouTube channel. By the way, UniMatrixGaming on YouTube. If you want to see it, let us know. We'll do a let's play on it, and it'll be interesting. I'll turn it off when Ted DiBiase comes out. But there you go. Yeah, what's next? WWF WrestleMania 1991 on everything.
Oh, that was on everything. My God.
Wowee.
And then we had WWF WrestleFest.
WrestleFest.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
With a capital F.
Yeah. F. And then in the arcade.
Yeah, brilliant. WWF Superstars 2 on the Game Boy. I must have missed that one.
Yeah, we had WWF European Rampage Tour across multiple platforms as well.
Yeah, WWF Super WrestleMania 1992 on NES. SNES, in fact, not NES. Mega Drive.
And we had WWF WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge, Master System, Game Gear, NES.
Fantastic, the Master System there getting a shout out. The first one, I think. WWF Royal Rumble 1993, SNES and Mega Drive. And can I say that this game is my all-time favourite wrestling game? Yeah. I played this game with my best friend at the time when I lived in Nottingham, Chilwell, Craig, my childhood friend, who I haven't seen in many years. We used to play. Yeah,
don't worry, it's happened.
We used to play this game night and day, and I still have fond memories of it. Brilliant game.
That's it. Yeah. But this is what it is. It's a trip down memory lane. Yeah. Because I think wrestling games are linked into childhood in some way as well. That you've played it at a certain point, you know.
Yeah.
You had WWF Rage in a Cage, 93 Sega
Rage
CD.
In the Cage. Yeah, WWF King of the Ring in 1993, probably coinciding with Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, the very first King of the Ring event.
First event I ever watched.
It was 1993. Bret Hart beat Bam Bam Bigelow in the final there. Yeah. WWF Raw 1994. Of course, WWF Raw had debuted in 93, but obviously a little bit later. Multiple consoles for that one.
Everything, even the 32X, which is interesting. Wow. WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. On all the major consoles there.
Right, we had WWF In Your House, which I remember having on the PlayStation.
Really?
That was one of the first ones I had. Graphic, it was kind of like a side, scroll like it was. And I think they had like magical abilities as well.
Brilliant.
But
love
hey,
it.
The Undertaker
Shaquille O'Neal in there or something. Yeah,
we had Undertaker like throwing tombstones and shit like that.
Love
what I mean? Michael's throwing like hearts.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a bit of fun. WWF Warzone, not to be confused with Call of Duty Warzone.
No. That was, like I said, the game before Attitude, and that had like Nation of Domination and The Rock and people like that on. That wasn't a bad game. Like I said, WWF Attitude was the next one. That's the first one I remember actually having in my hand.
Fine.
And then, like I said, I went back and tried to find some.
Fair enough.
I had that on the PlayStation.
Very cool. WWF Attitude. We've mentioned this, haven't we? Yeah.
WWF WrestleMania 2000 and the N64 game that we've got in front of me.
And now we're getting into it. WWF SmackDown from 2000, this series of games.
That just changed everything, didn't it? It was a step up. Kind of the shine, the look, and everything on there. It just felt next level. Yeah. And I really enjoyed the SmackDown game.
The customization in there was amazing as well. Yeah. Brilliant. I don't know if that one in particular had it, but later on they definitely had customization.
Like I said, the THQ connection, because they were making great WCW games, and they switched across to WWE, and you can just tell the kind of difference, without a doubt. You had WWF Royal Rumble in 2000 for the arcade and Dreamcast.
Fantastic. Then WWF SmackDown 2, Know Your Role.
The titles in the early going is great as well, you know? I remember having that one. Also, WWF No Mercy for 2000 for the N64. That is on the list of greatest wrestling games of all time.
Well, there you go. And it will feature on Twitch after this podcast, and you'll be able to watch it on YouTube at UniMatrixGaming. There'll be two videos. The live Twitch will be recorded and put on the YouTube for you to watch. So head on over there and leave a comment. Just raid our comment section and say that you've come from the WNR. We'd love to chat with you all. So, yeah.
Yeah, just don't be horrible, all right? 'Cause I know what you lot can be like sometimes, all right?
Yeah, please.
Don't be that
We've all got low self-esteem. Please leave us alone.
We had with authority, which
interesting. With no,
I don't.
Nobody ever bought that game.
I did buy the WF Betrayal Game Boy Color. It was
you?
Stephanie got kidnapped, and you had to go through levels of beating. It was like Streets of Rage,
was it?
And you had to find them in
the game.
Yeah, but I wanted a fucking wrestling. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
This is like the backstage wrestling all
I
over
was
again.
like, what the fuck? Burned twice.
Yeah. WWF Road to WrestleMania 2001 on Game Boy Advance only. Interesting.
Wow. We had WF SmackDown. Just bring it.
I think this might be the first of... Yeah, this had The Rock on the front,
Yeah,
didn't it? Yeah,
just
he's
bring it.
gesturing to me there. You won't be
Yeah.
able to see that, but he was. He was doing the thing. Yeah. WWF Raw 2002 on the personal computer, as it says here. On the personal computer.
But it's personal to you. Don't show anybody. We had WWE WrestleMania 18 on the GameCube. I actually had a GameCube, yes. And
I still have one.
I had this game on there. GameCubes, I don't know.
I loved it.
Really?
I loved my GameCube. Yeah, there was so much novelty to it. The pads were weird, but the tiny discs made up for it. So, yeah,
I
brilliant.
did hear you have tiny discs.
I have experience. WWE Road to WrestleMania 18.
Yeah, next one.
WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth.
I beg your pardon.
Shut your mouth, sir.
I was only commenting on that. Yeah, again, brilliant on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. WWE Crush Hour.
Yeah, that wasn't as great. I don't think I bought that on the PS2 or the Game Boy, and I didn't have an Xbox either.
Right.
Never owned an Xbox.
Okay. I bought one. I bought one from the Virgin shop, and it broke down. Yeah, it used to. They used to have like HMV.
Right.
Yeah, and it broke down, and I had to take it back for a refund. That was my only experience.
I never.
2 weeks.
Never.
2 weeks. I
2
had
weeks
it.
with an Xbox.
WWE Raw 2. 2003 on Xbox. We're going to skip all the Xbox ones because rubbish.
WrestleMania 19 for the GameCube.
Marvellous. I mean, you didn't like it, so...
I didn't like it.
Yeah. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. Now, I think that this one I played quite a lot. I remember making characters. Is this the one with the General Manager mode?
No,
or was that later
General
on?
Manager came slightly later.
That was fantastic.
But Here Comes the Pain has probably got the best roster of wrestlers. It was during that time, like 2002, where you had all the guys from the Attitude Era, and then they brought all the WCW guys across.
Okay.
And like I said,
it had legends in there and stuff like that as well.
Oh my word! So hopefully, when we're going to go through it and look at the roster, it is like my friends say, mustard.
Mustard. Amazing. WWE Mobile Madness in 2003 on mobile. In 2003, who had a mobile then? Who could play games?
Yeah. We had Mobile Madness Hardcore and Cage for the mobiles.
Wow.
And then WWE Day of Reckoning 2004 for the GameCube again.
That happened, didn't it?
Yeah, I think The Rock was in the majority of the games
man.
at this time that I can think of.
Yeah. WWE Survivor Series 2004, Game Boy Advance.
And then WWE SmackDown versus Raw.
This is it now, isn't it? These are the ones. SmackDown versus Raw. These are the good ones.
SmackDown versus Raw 2004 for the PS2. Yeah, that's the game changers there.
That the General Manager mode, I spent a lot of time in there. That was fun. I enjoyed that, and then they got rid of it.
But there's recent games. There's my the WWE Universe,
right? And
basically, it's kind of similar to that, and I use it. The more up to date ones, I've not really done it, but on like the PS3, I got 2K15 and 17, and you can get quite with the roster and the storylines, and it's good shit. Don't get me wrong, like I really did enjoy it. But like I said, that General Manager, because even the General Manager, I think it was like 2005 or 6.
Yeah,
they literally you had like a match rating as well, so what the fans thought about it.
Yeah.
So if you had a great match with 5-star
That's
or
right,
like 3.5, and things like this
that,
as well, and you budget and like I said, I think wrestling fans would enjoy a game like that if it was so involved where you can actually, budget wrestlers and free agents and stuff like that.
And curate storylines and things like that. Yeah, for sure. WWE Raw 2005, back on mobile again. Nobody played these games. No. Please.
No one played Raw or SmackDown on the mobile. You're kidding yourself if you did. And no one played WrestleMania 21 on the Xbox either.
No. WWE Ooh, WWD.
WWD.
WWE Aftershock 2005 on the N-Gage. That is another mobile game. I had an N-Gage, just a Nokia.
Did you have an N-Gage?
I had an N-Gage. Yeah, I probably played that game. Yeah, it was basically like a pad. The phone was like a pad, and it had Tomb Raider on that phone.
Oh,
it was fantastic.
All right, we had WWE. Well, in 2 for the GameCube, but then we had WWE SmackDown versus Raw. 2006, 7, 8, and 9, all on the PS2.
Fantastic games.
And PS3, fantastic, yeah, without a doubt. W Legends of WrestleMania. It wasn't a bad game, more arcadey overall, but because a lot of Legends from early WrestleManias, pretty cool
always
game
good
to play.
Always cool to have that.
So obviously in my collection, without a doubt.
Nice. W Legends of WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, 20 again for all the consoles.
Yeah.
W All-Stars, another kind of arcade game. Still not too bad to play. And then they switched because they thought, no, SmackDown vs. Raw hasn't got the same ring to it now.
Okay.
So we'll just switch.
I have no experience with any of these games now.
Well, it doesn't go great because you've got WWE 12 and 13.
Yeah.
There's a slight change to it. And then, unfortunately, WWE decided to leave Ukes elsewhere and to the 2K mode.
Okay.
And since then, it's not been great.
Right.
Like it's okay, but the thing about a wrestling game is you want to turn it on and play it and just go straight to it. Whereas this one, he just seems so much behind it that he was just like, oh,
a lot of lag input.
You know what I mean? And then what they did up until a point, I mean, because they had like the 2K games, and then 2K20 came out and broke the internet because of how bad it was,
Really?
and so many people were complaining. There was an update from it which didn't go in. So when it turned to, because the game came out in 2019, when the calendar turned to 2020. The update didn't allow players to actually play the game, so you couldn't play the game in 2020.
Oh my!
And so many glitches, so many other things like that. So WWE said to themselves, right, we are not going to make a 2K game this year. Right. We're going to leave it for a couple of years, and basically what they're going to do is the latest games coming out this year, K Battlegrounds.
Yes.
It's going to be PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch.
Coming out on the 19th of September, I believe. Yeah.
And it looks quite interesting. Again, arcadey type.
Yes.
With a lot of fun finishes, but they've we talked through the roster on the WNR a couple of weeks back. It is jam packed. Do you think that's a good idea? If a game is not working,
I do think it's a good idea. And to be honest, looking at that game, isolated in the world of gaming right now, I would play it. I wouldn't play a 2K game. So yeah, it's definitely done something.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very, very interesting. I think that's kind of overall look at games. I mean, WWE have been the leader in wrestling games, obviously, these past couple of decades.
Definitely.
But isn't it interesting to see, like, WF games on the original Game Boy or like the Atari, and now they're on, like, they're going to be on PlayStation 5.
Absolutely.
It's that, what other game series has managed to go across so many different platforms as
there are a lot of games that obviously have spanned the decades, but WWE as an organisation or WWF have been there from the beginning, and the rest have all fallen to the wayside. So the brand itself is shone through.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really interesting to look back. But if we're going to discuss what the two greatest wrestling games are, then, like I said, we go for the N64, THQ, No Mercy 2000.
Fair enough.
And we're going to go up against the PS2, Here Comes the Pain from 2003. And basically, I've come up with an idea of like a rating. So I'm not like into games, obviously, as much as you're what you look at. So I want to kind of have like a checkpoint system.
Okay.
Right? So what I'm thinking is like roster. We'll look at the roster.
Sure.
So I want to kind of find out what the better game is. So we'll compare the roster to each. I think that would be fair. That would be a good one.
Yep.
Is playability a good idea? Like how you can pick up and play and how easy it is
100%.
to go along with it?
I think so, yeah.
Fun level, again, how much fun you're having, or is that with playability, do you reckon?
I think that is all going to be subjective. Each to their own with that one.
Yeah, okay, we can mark that one.
Wrestling itself should be fun if you're playing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got obviously what the graphics look like. See how good they are compared to 2.
But again, they're a few years apart, so we have to the N60 given a little bit of leeway.
That's fine. And that sound will come into that as well, won't it?
Yes, it will.
With everything like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can add to kind of measure how good a game is? I know I'm giving it to you off the top of your head, but I'm trying to think, is there anything else we can rate it as or mark it as and think, right?
The Revenge is an N64 only game, isn't it? It didn't come out on the PlayStation. No. So we can maybe have a look at how it controls with the pad and see how differently it might control on a different pad. But I don't know. I think it's unfair to maybe compare them too closely.
Yeah,
in that way.
But we've got to have a winner in this.
We do, and we'll have to come up with while we're playing. We can come up with a scoring system as we go. I
can say, well, I've got those at the moment.
Yeah,
if
we can definitely
else
tick
we
those
can
off.
think of. We either do it at like a 5 or that, or
Yeah.
we'll try and work out and try and give a definitive answer of what is the greatest wrestling game of all time. All right, so up next, it's time to play the game.
Time to go to Twitch.
All right, so right now, as I record this, we're actually going to go behind the scenes. We're going to. Yeah. This is kind of what we're trying to do. So we're going to go live on Twitch, but I'm still going to record the podcast at the same time. So, Jamie, you're still here, aren't you?
Well, I'm still here, and we're setting up the Twitch stream right now. And we're also going to record the videos for YouTube, which you can pick up tomorrow.
All right. So, as I said, with this episode, we're kind of trying different things. So we're going to see what happens now. But hopefully this all works. And like I said, it's going to be controlled. So if it doesn't, at least we know who to blame, everybody.
Right. Let's have a look. So...
Right, okay.
This is the first game, yeah?
This is the first game. So the first game is WF No Mercy for the N64. I remember getting this game. It was the first time to actually have a proper ladder match to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you never had a ladder match actually before this. You had a couple other things as well, like your pay-per-view. Your pay-per-view was really, really cool because you could literally make your own custom one. So you can select the event, the arena, and everything like that with a place and the numbers of matches.
That's cool. That's a bit like General Manager mode that I enjoyed on the later games, yeah.
This is what's so good about it.
Right.
And another great thing as well, exhibition, is the kind of the roster in its... Actually, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll start off with a ladder match.
Okay.
We'll do a ladder match together, a tag match. We want to be on the same team, don't we?
Yeah, because I don't want you to smash me straight away.
I'm not very good at this anyway, so we'll see what we go. We'll go to SummerSlam, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Bloodshed, yes. Should we have belt? Non-title match, we'll leave it. So that's what I'm saying, but the roster in itself is amazing because you've got the early 2000 roster,
right,
which is the Attitude Era, and then basically from that you've got inbred, like the kind of people that come over from WCW as well. So not only have you got your kind of Shawn Michaels, your Rocks, your Undertaker, your Triple H's, your Kanes, which are kind of like the bedrock of the Attitude Era, then you've got your Chris Jerichos and everything else like that's come along. Chris Benoit.
Look at these wrestlers in here.
Ken Shamrock we spoke about on the podcast.
Did I see Kurt Angle in there?
Kurt Angle's indeed in there as well, yeah. Kurt Angle. It's one of his very first wrestling games as well.
Is it?
So to actually be on there is pretty cool.
This is an early one for him then, is it?
Yeah. I mean, he debuted in November of 1999.
Did he?
So this came out probably late in 2000, so this is probably one of his very first ones.
He's another... stud wrestler, isn't he? An actual wrestler.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who can just beat up anybody. But you've got like Eddie Guerrero as well, is probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, being on this game, with people like the British Bulldog, which is incredible. Another good thing about this, you can alter their attires as well. So the Bulldog here, that's not his original attire in the game.
Right.
So you can change it up because they've been playing it. I mean, this is for me 15 years ago, whatever else like this. Yeah. But even with that, and then you've got the kind of your B teams, your Stevie Riches and your Big Boss Mans.
I remember Big Boss Man. He's a policeman, isn't he?
Well, of course, it's hard times, isn't it? I mean, Viscera was known as Mabel, as he was the he won King of the Ring 1995 as well.
Okay.
Albert Matt Bloom is actually a trainer in WWE now.
Is he?
Of like the up and coming wrestlers, so he's actually got quite an important part. But there's so many as well, like Taz from ECW. It's just unbelievable, you know. Gangrel and Al Snow. There's not that many games, and Shane involved. You know?
Look at that! Yeah,
everybody wanted Shane McMahon on the games. There is so many, and of course with the tag teams, this is probably the greatest period in WWE through tag team wrestling.
Right,
because you had a team like the APA, which are great. But then of course the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Dudleys, which were something else, and of course Edge and Christian as well. Even the Cruiserweight division. Wow. S.A. Rios is only actually I might lie, he might be on one SmackDown game. But it's his kind of only appearance here in the N64. Takanoku, probably one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers who lived in the past time as well.
Fair enough.
Crash Holly, he will be missed, but again, fantastic wrestlers. And you've got so many. You've got the specials. You've got your
Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack.
Is that not Mankind?
Yeah, you've got the three faces of the Foley. So you've got the Mankind, your Cactus Jack, and your Dude Love.
Dude Love, I remember Dude Love.
Mick Foley as well. This is a trip down. Earl Hebner is on the game as well.
Look at that.
I mean, a referee. And JR. I mean, how many games have got Jim Ross? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna. And then you got the creative wrestlers, which, I mean, I created Goldberg and people like that because obviously.
Is this your save game on here?
Yeah, this is my save game.
This.
Jeff Jarrett, that's JEFFJARRE.
Yeah.
Sean O'Hare, that was when he was going to become a big star.
All right.
Booker T.
Booker T.
DDP. So this, I must have been playing this game around 2001 because the invasion angle happened with the WCW wrestlers coming across. So I must have just created them. Rhino, Rob Van Dam, Big
Rob Van
Show.
Dam. Have you created Rob Van Dam? Look at that.
That's RVD there.
Yeah.
William Regal in a suit, of course. And Tajiri as well.
Is that another Japanese-inspired wrestler?
Yeah. The Japanese buzzsaw, his kicks and he spat the green mist. Brock Lesnar.
Look at him. He's looking a bit thin.
You can turn it. Well,
he got a bit thicker later on.
That's the problem, isn't it? You can. That's another thing I like about it. You can go close in. But the ones that aren't very good, you kind of steer away from.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to tag team match. So we want to be. What do you want to be, Matt or Jeff?
We'll go Matt because he's my pick in the AEW thing. Yeah.
Right, I'm Jeff, so
okay,
you can be Matt then.
Where am I going? Down there.
No, top right.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, there we
Matt
go.
Hardy. And we'll go against the Dudleys.
Do you remember the buttons?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
I would say that I'm just going to wing it as I go along.
You are?
You know, I'm one of those dudes.
Okay.
Who...
Just got to work it out as you go along.
I reckon, because it's not... I mean, the N64, the padding itself is pretty basic. You got your D-pad.
It's weird in that it has the one single stick, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really used to a single stick now. But you got that there. I mean, I think that's for a taunt or a finisher when it lights up.
Right. How are we moving around?
We are moving the D-pad.
We're moving with the D-pad.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Okay.
this is a custom entrance by me.
Look at this. And what year is this? This is 99.
This is 2000. This came out,
right.
And I decided to put Jeff Hardy in DX. This is not his original entrance by any means whatsoever. But if you look at the entrance, they're not too bad. You know,
no.
You got your original Matt Hardy entrance now. And like I say, for 20 years ago, to still be wrestling now is a pretty big achievement. I could do the dun 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 dun. Test of Diva.
Look at these walkouts.
I know. The graphics aren't bad at all. Like, especially from that time. Yes, they're a little bit blocky, but not too bad.
Oh,
there you go. I'm going to try and protect you here. There you go.
Right, we're in.
Right. I've worked out.
Bees kick. Oh, look at that. Chucked him to the ground.
Oh, yeah, you're on him.
You're
on him. All right, I'll sort out Bubba. I think the difficulty level will be hopefully on easy.
Yeah,
try and work this out.
For me.
Right. Oh, okay. I know how to block. It's the shoulder buttons to block.
Okay. B is mash B and you just whack them.
Yeah.
A is grab.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Where's he going?
Slammed him.
Come here. The time we're in, what was happening in wrestling at this point in time. WCW had been dominating through the Monday Night Wars, but WWE had a plan, and it all came with Austin basically at WrestleMania 14, beating Shawn Michaels, and then from that it grew until this, and every year after it was improving. There was so many kind of additions to the roster at the point in time of 2000, 2001. It was really kind of packed, you know, and you can just see with the kind of future champions, even on the roster, the people looked at, will it be Kurt Angle or will it be Eddie Guerrero, you know, future WWE champions?
Let's try and win this match.
Okay. I managed... Oh, I found out how to run.
How do you run?
It's the bottom yellow one.
The bottom yellow one, okay. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that kick.
There you go. Look. There is no commentary on this anyway, so... It's just the crowd noise. Commentary wouldn't come into it until a little bit later on.
Yeah, this is very, very loud crowd chanting.
Yeah. Like that with the strikes as well.
Yeah, a little bit of sound effects with like, pew, pew,
yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff.
Oh, going for a pin and ladder match. That's cool. I want to know how to pick up a ladder. Right, let me... I know how to change my person.
Whoa,
there we go. Got it. Oh! Bubba got me beforehand. I mean, I can actually commentate on this. It's not too bad. Jeff and Bubba wrestling each other now. Jeff now just stopped Bubba from getting it. Matt Hardy's been dominating Devon Dudley since the very early going. I just threw Bubba out the ring. I'm going to pick up the ladder now. You look like you're all right there.
I'm smashing this.
It's moonsault off the top rope. That was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to do it again. Look, drop kick now. And Bummer's in a little bit of trouble.
I'm going up there.
Yeah, go on,
on the top rope. Look at that.
Oh,
yeah.
Leg drop. Lovely.
Have it. What else can I do up here?
I think I've just cracked Bubba open. Oh, he blocked that.
Yeah. Kind of like Spar Code.
Yeah. No, it's a bad Devon.
I think what we'd do is we'd try and... I'm actually surprised at how smooth this gameplay is.
Yeah, I'm not...
The animations are really good.
It's not bad at all, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like...
We have to finish up this tag team match. We'll go to a short intermission and then we'll try and get the audio sorted for you guys.
We'll sort it out for everybody. And of course, if you're listening along to the podcast and you're going to want to see some of this action, like I say, go over to Twitch, UniMatrixGaming, and check us out there.
Absolutely.
And of course, the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, UniMatrixGaming on YouTube. Sure you check it out. Go and raid the comments section. Let us know what you think.
Let us know how you would play it any better.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's Devon. Oh, right. You want that, do you? All right, I see. So, of course, the ladder match, the whole point of a ladder match is to climb it to get the belts.
Right. So let's knock both of these out and get up there.
Yeah. No, I think Devon's done for the day anyway.
Can I change who I'm looking at?
Yeah. Oh, got a sleeper in. That's going to help in a ladder match. Oh, the sound of the crank of the neck as well.
Oh, look at that.
What the?
What am I doing?
You're doing a crab, it looks
some
like.
kind of crab.
Wow. Right, you keep building up. You've got more finishes than I ever have.
I mean, the trick is you just mash the buttons.
You just smash them.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. I'm going to try and go up and do the finish. No, I'm not. I'm going to try and pin him. I'm pinning him, but the referee's not there to count.
The ladder.
Right, go and climb. You should be nearer the belts. Be nearer the...
Where's the belt?
Oh, not there. Right, I'm up. Don't worry. I'm up. There you go. I've just drop kicked into nothing, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah. Clothesline him.
Yeah. Oh. Can I just say, anybody that actually can't see this at the moment in time, this is probably the greatest wrestling match of all time. I'm not going to lie. Very reminiscent of TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17. Okay, ladder. Devon's there, but I'm going to try and... I'm very, very...
I just turned him over. He just turned him over.
You're having a good time with Devon over there. I'm trying to work out how a ladder works. There you go. Right, there you go. Oh, I'm climbing the ladder now. I can fit... No. So it's the top yellow one to climb.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, Bubba didn't like you doing that.
Tickling his balls.
Yeah, no, exactly. The old tickly balls routine, and I just hit Bubba in the back of the head with a ladder.
Perfect.
You like that, don't you? He did. He enjoys it.
Right, get that ladder up.
Right, okay.
Get rid of this one.
There you go. Oh. Right, let me set that ladder up. Ladder is set up.
Choking him out.
Right, cool. I'm climbing.
No. Yeah, he's trying to save his mate. Yeah, get those belts.
Yeah, I got it. No!
No! I sabotaged it.
Jesus. Jeff. My name is Jeff, and he just went up.
My name is Jeff.
Yeah. He's going up again.
Oh. Well, as you can see, we're probably not as good at this game as we would have been 15 years ago, but...
Well, I can see why Jeff retired. I'm not going to lie. Oh, no, wait a minute. I've outmatched him.
I mean, overall, I know you can't hear the game sounds, but I'm impressed with that. It's pretty good. Animations are fantastic on this game.
The fluid,
and the range of moves is really good. I'm really surprised.
It's just brilliant how you can just...
And we're going to get the belts now.
Yeah, got it. Let's get him. There you go.
No!
Stop him!
No! Yeah, you got it! All right.
Jeff Hardy gets a briefcase, but...
Brilliant. Well,
there you go.
That was fun. I think we're going to go to a short intermission and we will be back.
Yeah.
I am genuinely surprised how good this game is.
Yeah.
Like, it really is good.
It's one of the best games.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, No Mercy features various improvements for its predecessor, the WF WrestleMania 2000.
Okay.
Such an improved graphics, a championship mode that allows players to participate in, plus storylines, a more in-depth character creation mode. Like I said, the character creation mode is very, very important. I mean, they faulted it for the blocky graphics, but looking back on it 20 years later, I don't think there's a single problem with the way it kind of looks at this moment in time. Really.
It's not too bad. It isn't as bad as you would think, and actually the animations make up a lot for the sort of blocky graphics.
Yeah, I mean, without doubt, this is, like I said, what they added to it. You can see the kind of love and attention put into it, and I think like the up-to-date 2K games haven't got that.
Right.
It's just like they're trying to add a couple of wrestlers to it and not really change much.
Right.
Whereas with this one, it just feels a little bit different. And do you know it's one of the most successful N64 games?
Is it?
Yeah, because obviously during this time,
Fair enough.
the way it was.
So what else have we got on here? They've got all the main sort of features, haven't
Well,
they? Royal Rumbles and everything.
Yeah, we've got single play, which is you've got the championship or the survival mode, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
You got your SmackDown Mall.
What is that?
This is where you can, I remember off the top of my head, buy stuff in the shop. So certain wrestlers or certain outfits.
Oh, okay, I see.
So you can literally
you can grind for some money and then spend it.
Yeah, and you can buy moves if you want to.
That's cool.
And of course, wrestlers as well. I mean, I haven't bought the hoe.
The hoe? Is that what she's called?
That's available on there, but she's $500,000. So
right, she's an expensive hoe.
She is a very. I mean, I don't really know how much hoes, you know what I mean. But I would say, I didn't buy The Rock's book either. Should I buy The Rock's book?
Buy The Rock's book.
There you go.
Well, you know, let's go and hit somebody with it.
I have brought The Rock's. There's he holding the book. Very good.
Fantastic. It's really big, or he's really small.
Look at the size of this bazooka.
Look at that. Wow.
That is.
That is something. Can you use that in a match?
No, I think China comes out the entrances, and that's Kane, not the wrestler, but of course the Godfather's Kane when it came to walking around. You can edit a superstar, change
the stable.
Change stables.
So will you create like a team?
Yeah, exactly. And you can just do what you want with it. You can clone a superstar, edit a superstar. But like I said, it's so... Because even now with recent 2K games, they find you can change like the colour of their attire.
Right.
And like with Shawn Michaels, you could... Like with appearance, there's so many different kind of things that you can do. So entrance attire. So you can actually just check... Because he's, you know... Just switch it up to red and just all these little things.
Yeah,
it's attention to detail.
Little details.
You know,
keep you
like
playing.
and because Shawn Michaels obviously doesn't wear the same kit, so you could put him in his white WrestleMania 12 outfit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there you go.
You can put him in his WrestleMania full team red outfit.
Okay.
You know, all these different. He never wore green, so that doesn't make any sense. With DX, it was more black and green as opposed to just a green colour.
So in terms of fan service, this game's got it. It's got it all.
Like I say, at this moment in time, it's especially when it came out, when you weren't expecting a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, to be able to climb a ladder, to have all these different types of kind of move set and everything else as well.
Mm-hmm.
And because the worst thing with wrestling games is when you select a wrestler and you play it, and it feels like they've just got the same generic moveset.
Yeah.
And with this, you've got, even with the Hardy Boys, as we saw, you can see the kind of style.
I noticed that in the animations, there were a lot of intricate moves that they were doing. They're all probably signature type moves, you know. Another wrestler's not going to be doing what they were just doing. So, I'm quite impressed.
Like I say, this is the game that, you know, came out 2000, and I was still playing it a couple of years later, which just proves its kind of the ability to be fun as well, you know. And it's even like Royal Rumble, you can do a Battle Royal, or select how many. You can have a 40, 30. You can, you know what I mean. You can pick a Royal Rumble, and it doesn't have to just be 30. You know, you can have just like a normal 4-man Battle Royal, something like this as well. You know, and the arenas in itself.
Yeah, look at that.
They've got all the kind of major ones. You know, when it comes to what it's all about. That's the Rumble 2. That's probably one of the most famous sets of all time.
Is it?
The taxi cab hanging off
the
side. And another great thing, your title's on the line as well. You can actually make your own title. So you got like World Heavyweight, which is Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. Intercontinental, Women's, and all this kind of stuff. So it's like you said, you can get lost in this game.
You really can, can't you?
Really good about it. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, I mean, this is definitely a contender, but we've got to see what the other game's all about, right?
I think without a doubt. I think this is the thing.
without further ado, let's transition to the PlayStation.
All right.
And we're back. This is SmackDown. Bring the pain.
Well, here comes the pain.
Here comes the pain. We just discussed this.
This is what I'm here for anyway. So Here Comes the Pain was out in 2003, right? Ukes in THQ. This is, in my eyes, the greatest video game of all time, right? Over 50 playable superstars on this. But not only that, but the greatest roster that we ever have seen as well. Now, you can't argue, right? So we're going to go through, and it is just unbelievable, right? So
big statement here.
Honest to goodness, right? This is incredible. So we start off. We'll do alphabetical, so we forget about all these guys first, right? Pretend we're not even seeing them at this moment in time, and we'll just run through. So we've got A-Train, as we had Matt Bloom on the other one, which is brilliant. Batista. This is Batista's first game, right? So the Attitude Era came along, and then afterwards, 2002 was the Ruthless Aggression Era. And from that, there was Full Stalwarts, basically came from and made their debut that year. One was Batista, one was Randy Orton, one was John Cena, and the other one, you might have heard of him, Brock Lesnar. The four guys made the debut. So this is the first time Batista's actually been on the game. You've got the Big Show, who obviously has been on most of the games. Booker T as well, which is fantastic. Brock Lesnar in a SmackDown game.
Himself.
Here Comes the Pain, the title role.
He's got the cover.
Unbelievable. You know, at this moment in time, Brock Lesnar is the new face of WWE. He's come and destroyed The Rock and Hogan, and is now the champion running wild, you know. Bubba Ray Dudley, Charlie Haas, part with Shelton Benjamin, the world's greatest tag team. So you still had great tag team wrestling on here as well. Chavo Guerrero with Eddie Guerrero, Los Guerreros, Chris Benoit, less about him, Chris Jericho, of course, Christian, Devon, part of the Dudleys, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, of course, multiple-time world champion as well. Eric Bischoff is a playable character in this one. The guy who ran WCW was the general manager.
Really?
Right? You've got WWE legends. You've got George the Animal Steel, who used to eat turnbuckles. Goldberg, who is just this... Goldberg's been featured in a couple of games since then, but this iteration of Goldberg is just a killer, you know? Goldust, Hillbilly Jim, don't go mess with a country boy.
What's on his face?
What, Goldust?
No. Hillbilly Jim or whatever his name. Yeah. What's that on his face?
That's his beard.
That's his beard?
So I think it's a combination of beard and hair put together.
It's like some sort of
like
abnormality. It's a growth.
His head in a black sack. And he's just poking it out.
Exactly.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Yeah. We love that. Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik on Twitter is brilliant. Yeah. Because he quotes out in capitals and he'll just like, oh, Jaboni. And it's just fantastic. Jazz, great female wrestler, of course. John Cena's first game.
Oh, fair.
Kane without a mask. The first game with Kane without a mask on it as well. Big sexy Kevin Nash, of course. Kurt Angle, Lance Storm, Lita, Matt Hardy again, part of that. Nikolai Volkov used to come out and sing the national anthem every time he was doing it. Randy Orton's very first appearance, 70 rating now. He won't get past a 90 now on any game, Rey Mysterio's one of his first appearances.
You like him, don't you?
Rey Mysterio is one of the greatest wrestlers that ever lived. Rhino with the gore. Ric Flair, of course, the Nature Boy.
Why doesn't he have legendary status?
Because he was still an active competitor at this time. He didn't retire officially until 2008.
Fair.
With WrestleMania 24 with Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Rico, less said about him the better. Rikishi, his two sons now, the Usos, that are a really popular tag team. RVD, The Rock, Rowdy Roddy Piper. To have him on the game as well, you know, it's unbelievable. Rodney Mack is not that great, but Sable involved. Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. So this is basically like Sean O'Hare. You know, we showed No Mercy. Yep. The wrestlers was like Goldberg, Booker T, Sean O'Hare. They are all on this game. They're literally just banged.
And there's 2 years difference between the two games.
2 years, yeah. Right. So at this moment in time, I mean, Shawn Michaels has just made his comeback in 2002. Shelton Benjamin, part of the world's greatest tag team. Stacey Keibler, Stephanie McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, it's interesting you said about legendary status. This is the last game that Steve Austin and The Rock are normal roster wrestlers.
Oh, really?
Afterwards, they are just legends, which kind of shows that as well. Stephen Richards, Tajiri, another one I created on No Mercy. Test, that was Test. Tori Wilson, Triple H, Trish Stratus, Ultimo Dragon, the only wrestling game with Ultimo Dragon.
Is it?
On there. I had the pleasure of meeting him in Sittingbourne about 7 years ago as well. Fantastic talent. Of course, The Undertaker with different iterations of that, the American Badass character, and Val Venus Victoria. Vince McMahon is a playable character as well. So that's just the strength in depth on the entire roster.
Yeah.
When there's, like a Royal Rumble is a star-studded event, with the amount of championships involved in it. The creator wrestler, the appearance of the moonset, the animation, maybe not as good as it got later on.
Right.
But the thing is especially later on, like 2K games, because back in the day you had to go on like the CAW on like Google it, and you had to go like 12 for the hair, 6 for this. And
right, okay. I remember.
But now you have the actual wrestlers.
Yeah.
To do that, but you didn't need to create anybody because they were all on the roster. Yeah. That's what's the crazy thing about it. Your season mode was all right, but again, pretty basic as well. So there's not really much to be talked about. But this was the thing: you could get lost, and match types, again, not that different to what we saw on No Mercy. Mm-hmm. We've got and everything like this. But main events, and main events is your different match types.
Yep.
So we had like ladder and cage maybe in this one. This is good and bad because obviously 3 Stages of Hell is fantastic. It's like a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Okay.
But you've got the bra and panties match, which what we've done, especially in the podcast since starting 2015, the evolution of the women's division and what it became to, and now how women get treated a bit like with UFC, same respect as their main rival, as the male counterparts. So this is kind of like change for the good. Bra and panties match is something that we didn't really want to see back in the day. Obviously, a lot of during the Attitude Era, this is how women was treated. It's good that that's changed now.
Sure.
But then you've got like your First Blood, your Hell in the Cells, which is your standard stuff as well. Ladder, Last Man Standing, Lumberjack, Slobber Knocker. They're still on WWE games now. Where you just try and beat as many people as you can. They're called Special Referee Submission Table and TLC.
A lot of different matches on there from the other one, but
yeah. Like so, they've kind of tweaked it a little bit to try and do that. So if we were going to have, as a Royal Rumble there with the roster that we've got would be
fantastic, wouldn't it?
Pretty amazing.
The Royal Rumble's always good.
Yeah.
One thing to note about the games, if you're going to compare them, they are a generation apart. The graphics on this one are a lot better, but let's see how it plays.
Yes, this is the main thing. So we're going to do a Royal Rumble. I'm going to be Goldberg, of course, because Goldberg is the king.
He's the one, is he?
Yeah. It just in this game, it's just before WWE mucked him about, he was the king. The only problem is that you can do it later on in games. You can give yourself loads of finishes. You can do it in a single match, but you can't actually do it in a Rumble.
Okay.
So I'm going to say process of elimination. We're probably not going to make it all the way through. But if I go number 1, then we'll see what the rest of the.
Let's take The Rock out.
No, The Rock's number 2.
No, he's going to come out number 5.
You're going to leave number 5.
No, I'm going to go number 3.
Yeah, number 3. You're going to give me a chance. But look at this now, like. We are just about to create the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, And it's really weird as well because I haven't played this game in so long. But like a comfortable pair of shoes or riding a bike, you kind of fall right back into it and you kind of know exactly where everything is. It's really weird.
It's easier to say that in the menus.
Batista, Big Show. We want Booker T in there. We want Brock Lesnar in, of course. Chris Jericho's got to be in there. Eddie Guerrero. Everybody I put in at the moment has been a WWE champion. That's what I'm saying, how strong the roster is.
This is an elite Royal Rumble.
This is going to be the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. Kevin Nash, former world champion. Kurt Angle, of course. Randy Orton, future at this point. Oh, no, that's Nikolai Volkov. How did he get in there? How dare you,
snuck
sir?
Himself in.
You get out there. Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ric Flair, of course. Rob Van Dam, Roddy Piper, Scott Steiner, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin. This is going to be something else. We've got Triple H, we've got The Undertaker. Right, we've got 6.
Bring him in.
Let's stick Vince McMahon in. Come on. Art My Dragon, it's your only game you're in, son, so you're in as well. We like to have a good test on these games, so I suppose that's the one as well. And if we have a look, stick Big Kishi in. Rhino with the gore. He's still wrestling nowadays, by the way.
Fair.
And then we'll put Matt in. One wrestler not on there is Jeff Hardy, which is a little bit up, not too bad. And then we finish off with Christian. Yes, I'm sure. Now, that as a lineup is unbelievable. Batista, Booker T, Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, John Cena, Nash, Matt Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Ric Flair, Rob Van Dam, Scott Steiner, Steve Austin, Triple H, and Undertaker. And that's only one half.
There we go.
The other half, Big Show, Lesnar, Christian, Edge, Kane, Kurt Angle, Orton, Rhino, Rikishi, Roddy Piper, Shawn Michaels, Test, Armour Dragon, and of course Vince McMahon. And then you might laugh about Vince McMahon being in the Rumble, but he actually won the Royal Rumble in 1999.
Alrighty, let's get into this Royal Rumble. Let's see what this plays like. So the other one, I'm expecting big things. This is a generation above the N64. The other one felt smooth. I didn't feel rigid. Like I felt like it was a smooth movement. I could walk wherever I wanted. So let's see.
Yeah, let's see the difference. You know. And here comes Goldberg. I mean, look, he's just a and the thing is that with the entrances for No Mercy, they'd come out of the entranceway and then you cut away to the next entrance. Now we're actually seeing in ring as well. And another thing with title belts, the champion would actually come out with a title around his waist,
right, okay.
Which is so cool. Mm-hmm. And, you know, little details, like I say, add so much to your gameplay experience. Yeah. And I think it adds extra time. And Edge is number 2. Wow. And this is the Rumble 2003 set they're using.
I thought we had chosen our starting positions. And you were number 1 and I was number 3. What's going on now?
Yeah, that's number 2 coming out.
Oh, yeah, you're Goldberg, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm away with the fairies.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. And look at Edge coming out here. Unbelievable.
Look at him.
Rob Zombie
Super
singing
flash.
into the ring.
Beautiful.
It's a full-on entrance as
they're
well.
Really good. I'm quite impressed. This is definitely a step above the N64. 100%.
Scream if you want it. So, this is me at my, like, you know, when you I started in 99, 2000. By this time, It was, yes, I'm into this. Give me everything that I can, you know. So your basic controls are there as well. Strike is X, grapple, circle, run is triangle.
Oh, he's quick.
Yeah, he's gold. Come here. Oh.
Oh, look at that.
No, I can reverse it. The great thing about the early SmackDown games is that you could reverse near enough every move you did.
Okay.
It's R2 to reverse. I didn't reverse that one just
R2.
to show you. Yeah.
I think I'm in now.
Yeah, you are. And Edge wants you.
Whoa, he smashed me. I'm looking at you. How can I stop looking at you? Oh.
Don't worry. I got you. He's not going to hurt you with me around.
Oh, no!
What are you doing? Traitor! You traitor! What are you doing, Kurt? And Kurt Angle's just come into this Rumble. Oh, my word. What a start to the Rumble. Kurt Angle, Edge, Brock Lesnar. Angle's gone. Angle's been eliminated.
Oh.
If you need help, just let me know.
Okay, yeah, the animations are pretty good. It locks on nicely. It is pretty good.
It's not bad, is it?
No.
It's quite...
SmackDown! I got SmackDown!
Oh, no, you got you. Oh, no, I just got bookended. I'm in trouble. Just stay in the middle of the ring, your best bet.
Right.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
get away. I'm the bald one. Shawn Michaels at it. What a Rumble it is.
What is going on?
Michaels trying to pin me. It is just...
This is mayhem. Brock smashing me. Get off me, Brock.
Oh, no, Michaels!
No!
Sweet chin.
I only had nice things to say about you.
Oh, Michaels just took me out, but I reversed him. Oh, and Edge just caught me in the execution.
Can I get on the turnbuckle?
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, don't eliminate
Fighting
yourself.
myself.
Hey, leave them to it. If they want to fight each other, let them fight each other. I'm not going to...
Shawn Michaels with the classic walkout music. I mean...
You just can't beat it.
It doesn't get better than that.
No, not that doubt. Oh, Brock now going after me.
I love it. I'm just spectating. I feel like a press officer.
Well, Tess has come out. You're limited to 6 in ring, but I don't think that really matters to a certain point. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. You don't want it too overcrowded.
No. I think only nowadays you can get 8, so it's not that it's kind of, massively changed that much.
Oh, been eliminated!
No.
You're on your own!
You can select next one coming out, though, I think.
Oh, can I?
Oh, yeah, once you... Oh, wait a minute, no!
Oh, no, he's gone!
Hopefully we can select.
Well, there you go.
No.
I mean, we could just watch it for a bit.
We could, but I don't think we will. Hang on, let me see if I can... I'm sure you could... There you go, look, you got your little button there. You can select. You can pick which wrestler you want to be.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing about the Rumble. I'm going to be Lesnar if I come back in.
Oh, I think.
You're Eddie Guerrero.
You're Kane, aren't you?
You're Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, where is he? Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
He's in the ring. Okay. Oh, no.
No, Eddie.
I'm gone again, no.
No, come on.
Get back in. No.
Right, here we go. I'm going to be Lesnar.
Who's this chunky fella?
That's Rikishi, yeah. Part of Too Cool.
Am I Shawn Michaels now?
No.
No? Oh.
You hope you're not Shawn Michaels.
No.
Right, you can...
Could be John Cena.
You're Rikishi.
Oh,
You're
I'm getting my head smashed in.
John Cena's coming out. Oh, test.
No, I keep getting shut up.
Go on, Kane, you get rid of him for me, mate. There you go, sir. Oh, he blocked you.
I mean, it's needless to say you are a lot better at this than I am.
Well, the best thing I used to do, and I'm not going to do it to you, obviously, but when it was with one of my friends, I'd say to him, let's just team up until the end of the Rumble.
Right.
And then the 29th person would come out. I'd sneak up behind it, Irish whip them out. And then always get so pissed off.
Oh, I'd be walking home.
Honestly, yeah, no. The amount of arguments I've had over that. But well, Roddy Piper's just come out in the Rumble. So now we've got Cena, Nash, Piper, Kane and Lesnar. Cena's been hanging on. Right, now's your chance. And it's Vince McMahon coming out.
So I think in terms of comparison and which one is the best game, I think I do agree with you. This one is probably far superior.
It's quicker. There's no kind of slow down on anything that you're doing. Like you said, it's fast and furious. And for a Rumble, that's exactly what it's meant to be. You're not meant to know what's coming in and what's going out. You know. Yeah.
I think this may even be better technically than the later games.
Without doubt. I mean, now playing this, I'd much rather play Here Comes the Pain than the later versions of the 2K version, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's been a good 2K version. Even the 2017 version I'm playing on the PS3, it's a carbon copy of 2015 just with an updated superstar. So I think that is a problem. And when you've got, when you've got a roster that's this good and you've got little details as well, even with me, like, I'm standing in the middle of the ring right now and they're eliminating each other before, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, before going for you.
Before they're going for me. And it's, you get like the newer games where they're just like 3-on-1 against you or something like that. And you're thinking, what's the point, you know? But there's no doubt I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And the animation of the moves as well. They look like
it's really
absolute
good.
killers, you know? The game. Ooh.
Time to play the game as Lemmy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We are Motorhead. You taking your time to decide?
I keep mashing select. I'm not allowed a new character. It said,
There you
you're
go.
not good enough.
Oh, no. I might be gone. No. Triple H, you're the game. Yeah, there you go. Don't hit me. Don't hit me.
Am I?
You're him. You're him.
Oh, yeah.
You
Okay.
see him?
Yeah,
Don't hit me.
That's it.
All right? Very, very simple. Let Vince McMahon and Ric Flair and all them lot. Right, there you go. Ric Flair's gone. No, Rhino. All right, okay, fair enough. You want to play that game, mate? We'll play that game. No, that's fair enough.
Oh, no. Get off.
Let's play the game. And Vince McMahon is fighting his son-in-law Triple H at the moment. And he just hit your finisher on you. Chris Jericho coming out. We've only got 10 wrestlers left. We started off with 30 in this one. It's gone thick and fast.
Brock is still in there.
I know. I'm trying my best with Brock. Oh, my God.
Oh, Vince McMahon. I'm so rubbish at this game.
The 4th time you've been eliminated.
Oh, it might be the 5th.
Well, it's about to taking part.
Yeah.
Evolution, another Lemmy theme song. Oh, there you go. Lesnar's gone. I've eliminated.
Here we go.
So it's Orton, Jericho, and Rhino in there now. I've gone. Jamie still got a choice.
Have I? Oh, yeah, Morton.
You're Randy Orton now.
As soon as I select to get thrown out.
I'm going to be Stone Cold. Give me Stone Cold. Don't get eliminated before I come out.
Okay.
I'm going to start stunnering everybody.
Oh, I smashed him. Is that Rob Van Dam? Get off me. Is he in the ring? No. Randy Orton. Have I just been eliminated again?
No, you're Randy Orton.
Oh, yeah.
Jericho's working over Austin.
I'm in the corner there, just yeah.
Rhino's still in. Right, I'm going to become... No, hang on. I'm not going to become Austin yet, because he just got eliminated. So I will become Rob Van Dam.
Uh-oh.
There you go. I'm RBD. Right, we've got to get rid of Rhino.
How do you chuck him out? Pick him up.
Yeah.
Don't do it on me.
Yeah, I know. That's not me. I'm here. I'm getting beaten up now, listen. Dear. I could have waited for The Undertaker. That's great. I'm going to be eliminated by... Oh, thanks, Rhino. Oh, he eliminated us both. No, he didn't. You're still in this one.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. I might be the worst player of this game of all time.
I've been eliminated 3 times. How that matter? It's taking part that counts. You might still win this Rumble.
I get a participation belt.
Yeah. You're still in this. There's only 3 wrestlers left. Matt Hardy is just taken out The Undertaker. You've got Rhino and Orton in there. Mysterio's just come in.
Oh, I'm free again.
I'm going to be...
Have a bit of that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice handspring.
Oh, yeah. Armbar.
You got him in. Undertaker. Oh, Undertaker there. Just took out Rey Mysterio and Rhino, and I'm going to become the Undertaker. Stop running now. Quiet you.
Quiet you.
Come here. Come here. There you go.
Yeah,
got some help?
No, you have to begin. I'm so bad at this game.
Right, Christian is number 29. Oh, Matt Hardy. It's not the greatest ending of a Rumble, I'm not going to lie. Because you've got Matt Hardy, Ultimate Dragon, Christian in there. But
I accidentally got all the good ones ejected.
Show, yeah. But you got the Big Show in there. So now we go. We've got final 5. I'm going to try and manoeuvre it so I fluke to be. I'm doing something. Look, I've got my arm up. Dead man walking. Don't you come near me. Come in. Come on in.
Smash that dragon.
Come on in. The only thing is picking what wrestler you're looking at is a little bit dodgy.
Right.
But it's quite good because it's automatic when you go near them, so that's not too bad.
L1, R1 I thought changed it.
Oh, there you go. Well, this is all going on now.
Smash him. Get him. Throw him out of there.
Yeah, I've got him.
Oh, yeah.
I've got him.
Oh!
That's good, wasn't it?
That was good.
I didn't fluke that at all. So it's come down to Ultimate Dragon, Matt Hardy, and The Undertaker.
I think it's only fitting that The Undertaker wins it.
Well, I'm hoping. He's only won 1 Rumble. That was back in 2007.
Fair enough.
Hey, you come near me, you see what you get. I'm bored of you now. I'm bored of you, man. I'm bored of you, Dragon.
Stamping them.
Come at you. Where do you think you're...
Away from you.
She just ran away. Oh, cheap shot. Cheap shot. That's not cool, man. Now I've got 2 and 1, but I'm fighting them off. Oh.
They're double teaming you now.
Yeah,
there he goes.
Go on.
That's a stone cold stunner, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Modified net breaker.
Okay. Oh, you reversed it.
Oh, come on now.
Somebody's got to go out of the ring.
Yeah, I know. Oh, these guys are putting on a show, though.
Come on, they're so close. One of them's going. The dragon's on his way out.
Oh, he's got me. Oh,
no.
No!
No! Oh.
You son of a gun! And the match never ends.
Yeah, this will go on for hours.
Matt Hardy. Well, that's a bit of a shame. And the greatest roster in WWE history of games. Ultimate Dragon and Matt Hardy. But then again, I'll show... Oh, Matt Hardy's got it. Yeah.
Oh, Matt Hardy wins it.
So Matt Hardy wins the Royal Rumble, and here comes pain. But it's a great experience.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant to see it. And in comparison, I think this wins hands down.
I've got to say, overall, like, if I was going to pick up and play a wrestling game after this, it'd probably be this one.
It's got to be this one.
Just be this one.
Fair enough.
Even though Matt Hardy did win the bloody Rumble.
Well, in conclusion, we're going to say that this is the best game. Even though it is a generation apart, take nothing away from the other game, but this one is just a little bit better, isn't it? So, thanks very much for watching.
So that was us on Twitch. Really enjoying it. I'd just like to thank Jamie for setting it all up and the technology. And I'll tell you what, I've really enjoyed these past couple hours.
Yeah, me too. Absolute pleasure. And thank you for having me on.
No problems. It's been brilliant. So that's it. Don't forget, we're across all social media. Twitter at the WNR Podcast.
Yeah, at UniMatrixG on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm at the WNRJR. Our WNR follower of the week is at ReonC4 Eurograps. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, the WNR Podcast. Across all the Google platforms, send us an email at WNRPodcast@gmail.com. YouTube, obviously, WNR Podcast for your latest clips. Podcasts at the same time on YouTube to do SoundCloud on your phone. And also, we're on iTunes where you can download, subscribe, rate, and review there. But that is it. I have been James Rowlands, and I was joined by
Jamie Cook.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.